Like an intim. Okay, that's good, that's good. Let me just start this on YouTube. It will take a few seconds. We'll get to this. So how was your day, guys? Are you still trading here? Fixing a hotkey. Are you working on a new hotkey there, Marcos? Good job, Tony. Just keep it up and soon you'll make that money in your live account. You got a parabolic on Baba earlier? Well, let's see Baba. Oh, this one, it actually was so parabolic. Was it good on the 1 minute chart? Oh my god. This is such a good reversal candle right there. You caught this one, right? So you tried it here and you got subbed out, tried it here and you got subbed out one more time, and you tried it the third time and this one went literally into the 9 and the 5 minute chart. This is perfect. And this is actually good long after that. We have, look at this, this is so perfect ABCD pattern. With the W shape, you see the W shape there? This is what we want to see after a parabolic pullback, which is going to the 9 and the 5 minute chart. We don't want to catch the first new high. Why is that? Because it might be making a reverse ABCD pattern and dump down. But if we see that W shape right there, then it's perfect. Hey Enzo. So yeah, guys, let's see your trades and then I'll show you some of mine if we have time. Sam, make sure to send this to the off-topic chat. Thank you. Just so that I don't miss it. Hey, Bitang. So yeah, let's see. This is Edwin. Edwin is so early here today. So let's see what Edwin did on NIO. Traded this for parabolic reversal, I guess. What got you stopped out there, Edwin? This is not, first of all guys, this is not parabolic reversal. I can see that it's making 1, 2, 3 consecutive 5 minute candles, but those candles, they are not so big if you look at them, right? First of all, look at this. You are having a strong move to the upside or an uptrend right there. After the uptrend, you're having a pullback, right? Then it's making a new high. This is an ABCD pattern. This is the high of the day and it is breaking the high of the day. And look what happens. The break of the high of the day is happening with increasing volume right there. So you see this? The break of the high of the day is happening with an increasing volume. This is not climactic volume, not so big of an igniting volume, but just looking at the bars, this volume is the biggest we have right there. And this is what I love to call an igniting volume, just because it's starting the breakout, it's starting the uptrend. I don't really love taking parabolic reversals against an igniting volume or against the breakout volume, especially literally at the breakout area. So you have the breakout area right here, or the resistance, it's breaking above it on the third candle, and normally I would expect it to just make small pullback, maybe to the 9 on the 1, to the 9 on the 2 minute chart, and then continue the uptrend. Maybe on the next leg up in this case, I would like it to take it for a parabolic reversal. If it did maybe 5 bars or 4 bars to the upside and got so far from this pivot point right here, I would also like it for a parabolic reversal. But yeah, here I don't think it is so extended. I mean, you have the risk to reward to the 9 on the 1 minute chart. Even this right here, with this type of stop loss, will give you at least 3 hours right there, right? The candle was good, everything was good right there, but I think it wasn't the best at the moment. It wasn't like so parabolic or so strong in this case, or at least here. And even if you look at the 2 minute chart, it wasn't going parabolically, it was just going, or uptrending, it wasn't going something like this, or parabolically, as we would love to see it when it's forming a parabolic reversal. Now let's talk about your entry. What got you stopped out here? You liked it, right? You like everything in it. You like the setup for a parabolic reversal. You are taking it to the short side and you are getting subbed out immediately. What got you subbed out there? Let's say this setup is perfect. Your entry is good. right? But you shouldn't have been stopped out here. And I would guess after the candle opened, it started going down and you took your entry. After a small move down, it went against you, it got you stopped out, and then it continued dropping down. Was that exactly what happened right there? Exactly. So remember guys what we said? This is the sort of type 3 stop losses we use right here. If we had a wick right here, this would be our stop loss, right? If we have a stock which is starting to go up before it's going down, going up, and then it's going down, our stop loss will be the moment, our entry would be the moment this candle turned from green to red, and our stop loss will be up there at the wick. If the stock just opens here and starts going back down, we can't have our stop loss exactly at the wick. Our stop loss will be either closer to the high of the wick or half of the wick. Okay? And this is what happened here, Edwin. The candle opened, started going down, you got a good entry because you get it immediately at a new low, but you had no clear support area to have. You can't have it exactly at the body, that's so tight, the body here is so small. You can't have it, I don't know, there is no wick here and there is no wick here to just place it, right? It's either the half of the wick or the high of the wick. And if you used any of those, you wouldn't be get stopped out and you would get the risk to reward. What you could do, you could start with the half of the wick or the high of the wick. If it's dropping down immediately, you just hold on for 2 hours maybe, or 3 hours or whatever your target is. And if it doesn't go down immediately, it starts going against you and then it starts going in your favor, you could add to your position, moving your stop loss to the high of the wick instead of the level you used before that. Hey, like charm, I'll slow it down, thank you. It's totally fine, Kizer. I hope you're doing well. Alright, was that clear now? B-Tang, let's see what you did right there. So B-Tang traded MRNA. And what was the setup? The catalyst was final phase trials. The setup was parabolic reversal. I see that. On the 5-minute chart, the stock is making a huge move, so you're trying to take it for a parabolic reversal, and we'll get into that right now. The entry was the candle after the hammer on the 1-minute chart. Here. Stop loss was the high of the previous candle, so you used a good technical stop loss. It was the high of the previous 1-minute candle. Wanted to get a fourth one, ended up having 0. So let's see. At hindsight, my entry in 1-minute chart was just a pullback or third wave. The trend looks really strong, so probability was very low to reverse. All charts were so really strong, the entry was too late. And after your entry, you saw a hammer forming at the 9-moving average on the 1-minute chart, which is why you decided to bail on the trade. Now, first of all, let's go to the strong charts, okay? When you're going into a parabolic reversal, the stock will be strong on all the time frames. So it's totally fine to see that the stock is strong on all the time frames. Looking at the daily chart, it's actually downtrending, so I definitely like it to the short side for a big move if it's going to offer that to me. Looking at the 15-minute chart, we are sitting below the 200 moving average, which is sloping down. Another good thing for me to be short bias on it. The third thing, we see a parabolic move on the 5-minute chart. Now, one thing I don't really like right here, it's only the first consecutive 5-minute candle, right? What I love is 1, 2, 3, right? And then take it to the short side. I don't like the 200 on the way between. Let me zoom it in. So look, remember what we said, the best thing for a parabolic reversal is to have 3 consecutive candles which are going parabolically, or 2 big 5-minute candles, consecutive ones, right? 1 is not really enough. Now, it was good for a parabolic reversal here. We had 3 consecutive candles, right, in the 5-minute chart. If we have a reversal candle on the 1-minute chart here at the tops, and we'll look at that, it would be a possible entry to the short side. One thing we don't like here is the 200 moving average between our entry let's say our entry is here, and our target, which is here. I don't like that because a lot of times it just bounces off that horizontal moving average and continues the trend. So this right here wouldn't have been a perfect parabolic reversal unless the 200 on the 5-minute chart was your target. Now, here, this is the first candle, and you're taking it within the first candle. I don't really like that. It was a big 5-minute candle. At least 2 would have been good for me to see. So yeah, 1, I don't really like it, and I wouldn't have really rushed it to take it within this place right here, only because it's only one 5-minute candle. Now let's go to the 1-minute chart. Looking at the 1-minute chart, right here we had first leg up, second leg up, no reversal candle. It's going to the 200 on the 5-minute chart. We had the 200 on the 5-minute chart at this place, right? So it's not giving you the good risk to reward. The first parabolic reversal should be ignored. The second thing is we're having a clear pivot point on our way, and the low of the pivot point, those two levels right here could act as a support if you're taking it to the short side. It could bounce either out of here or bounce out of the second one, and it actually bounced out of the second one, which was the 200 moving average on the 5-minute chart. Now it's going up. This is not a reversal candle I like on these type of setups. And why is that? First of all, the hammered high of the day is showing me buying pressure. What I like is that the body here is a little bit big, but now it's looking more closer to an engulfing. And I don't like engulfings because it's not giving me a good risk to reward. The last thing is the late entry, which also ruins the risk to reward. Let's say your stop loss is 40 cents. Your 2 to 1 will be at 80, which is at view up, and that's too much, right? It's way down. It's even below the 9 moving average on the 5-minute chart, which is why I would have avoided it. I like your exit. You realize your entry was bad. It didn't go wherever you wanted it to go, and you just decided to exit at small loss. So you managed it well. BMAC, let's see what you did. You're welcome. So BMAC traded BABA, and you traded BABA again for a parabolic reversal right there. Looking at this, let's see the 5-minute chart. You're having 1, 2, 3 consecutive 5-minute candles. One thing though, this is not parabolic, right guys? It is the third candle, but the candles are so small. If you have 3 candles like this, right, this is decent. The candles at least wide-bodied. They look like they are starting to go parabolic, or they're big. Those candles right here, look at this, 1, 2, 3, it's small. Even 4 and 5, it's still just small candles. I wouldn't even like it for a parabolic reversal after 5 similar candles to this one. Right here, again, the same thing. Candles are not so big, so I don't really like it for a parabolic reversal. And look at the 2-minute chart. It's not going parabolically, right? It's just trending right above the 9 on the 1-minute chart, going up, trying to pull back or slow down to get close to the 9, going up, getting to the 9 and bouncing back up. So yeah, I wouldn't really love this thing. Guys, do you hear me clear? Or it's low? If it's low, I can increase my microphone voice. Okay, that's good. Master Chief, can you try to restart the room? Hopefully it will work better. And make sure that in the room my voice is up to 100. Thank you. Okay, that's good. So yeah, again, if you look at the 2-minute chart, it's not going parabolically. It's just clearly trending. On these type of stocks, parabolic reversal, it could work out. I'm not saying that it will not work out, but it's not perfect. And we know that during the day, we can get those perfect parabolic reversals. So better avoid just those setups which are not really perfect and wait for the one which is really perfect, or which is looking really good right there. Now let's see what we had. Is that 935 right here? Or 1035? Yeah, exactly. Look, another thing, guys. You see this candle here? What is this? It's a breakout candle. We had a resistance here and it's a breakout candle. What is this volume? It's a breakout volume. It's sort of an igniting volume, which is getting the stock into the breakout. When we're having this, and after this we follow by an uptrend, I don't really expect the stock to pull back all the way to the 9 or below it, because it just broke up. This is the beginning of the trend. This is which igniting the move, which is beginning it. We know that we're not taking a parabolic reversal for a big reversal. We're just taking it for a pullback to the 9 moving average on the 5-minute chart, but not right after it breaks out, maybe on the second leg. So if you see consolidation, breakout with volume, starting to uptrend and going up, not parabolically, but decently, okay? You don't just try to force it for a parabolic reversal. Wait for the second leg. After the second leg is breaking up, then you could be interested in it. Don't risk it the first time right there. And someone called Baba, I think, for a reversal or quoted. Let me get back to Baba and show you. Like, look at these guys. This is big, right? These 3 candles here, they are big now. And you could try it here. You get stopped out. You could try it here. You get stopped out. You try it third time. And it will just simply make up for all of your losses right there. Okay, Master Chief, glad you fixed it out. Now let's see DH pack, what you traded there. Traded CCL for a parabolic reversal. Now this is parabolic. Just look, guys, at the move. You see this? It's not going like this. It's not going like this, right? It's straight line down, almost straight line down. It's just dropping down. It's dropping down into a daily level, which we like. It's closing as a reversal candle at the low of the day, which we also like right there. It's a third consecutive 5-minute candle, right? And this is 3 right here, which we also like right there. And we don't have any pivot points on our way. It's just going straight back up right there. So this is actually perfect. I like that. This is what we need to look for when we are trading this. Avoid all these setups which look decent and try to catch the ones which look perfect. If you get subbed out on these type of setups, it's good. But you don't want to get subbed out on setups which are looking decent and then finally catching one which will make up for your losses only. And eventually you'll be down after commissions, right? Just wait for those setups. This is perfect. And I like this, by the way. Look at these guys. The high of the pullback closing as a doji with increasing volume, right? This is also telling you that this might be the end of the pullback. It's mainly weak than strong. Volume indicator at the end of the pullback, 50% retracement, which we like right there. New low, which is a good sign for the end of the pullback, and the reversal candle at the high. This wasn't a bad play to the short side if any of you caught it. Let's see if someone caught it actually. Now let's go to the next trade. Ralam traded INO. So Ralam traded INO, and on INO he tried it twice for a parabolic reversal. Now look at this. This is good. This is a really big candle, and this is the second candle. 2 candles getting so extended. This is 10:15, so you are showing us only this trade. Unfortunately, we can't see the first trade, but let's see you're having a reversal candle up there. Let me zoom it into the 5-minute chart only. Let's see you're having a reversal candle here and you're taking it to the short side. This is not a bad step to take it to the short side. Now look at this. 1, 2. It's going to the upside. What is this setup, guys, here? It's not literally perfect bearish engulfing sandwich, but still I would call it a bearish engulfing sandwich or 3-bar play, yeah. Because this bearish candle, it got engulfed. But look, what do we have at the high of the day? Also, a small fake breakout, right? This is 3-bar play, a bearish engulfing sandwich. And a bearish engulfing sandwich is a bullish setup, right? Once it engulfs and breaks up, it should shoot up. And it did that. It did break out, but unfortunately the breakout was fake. Now, it's holding, getting back down into the range after the break, which is a weak sign. Still extended from the 9 moving average in the 5-minute chart, and Ralam took it to the short side. Let's see how he based his entry on the 1-minute chart. On the 1-minute chart, took it to the short side after the reversal candle. Again, another reversal candle right there. Stop loss should be somewhere up here at least, and then went all the way down right there. So yeah, this was actually perfect. I like that. Let's see what he did after that. He got a little bit messed up right there. What did he do? Took it to the long side, and I know why he took it to the long side. Let's get back to the 5-minute chart. He took it to the long side because the previous resistance acted as a support, or that's what he assumed, right? And because it looked like an ABCD pattern. One thing which we don't like about this right here is the drop. The drop was parabolic, right? When the stock is dropping down parabolically, we don't want to catch the first high. It's just risky to try to catch the first high and hope that it will continue going higher. We want it to make a W shape at least. If it's not doing that and it's dropping down one more time, we continue watching it. We don't force it on the first high right here, unless it's making a W shape or sort of a bull flag, which is here. Now this was decent. If you take your entry somewhere here, because you're not getting the first high, right? Now you're not taking the first high. You see it's making high, it's making sort of another leg up right there, and you try to force it to the long side there. Unfortunately, it will not work out and it will get you stopped out eventually. But this would have been like a decent entry for the ABCD pattern to the long side. This is definitely not really perfect, and this one just still not the best. I like this entry for one thing, and anyone could tell us why? Look at the 1-minute chart and look at the 5-minute chart both. This wasn't the best entry right here, but it was decent. Just if we read the price action. Anyone? Pay attention to the 1-minute chart, the 5-minute chart, and the volume bars. Come on guys, I know you can figure it out. Yes, Lenny, that's one thing. Perfect, I like it. It's a fake breakout, and the volume. Why this entry was decent right here? This entry, why was it decent? Like, what indicators could tell us that this is a good entry right here? A break of VWAP, good. Above the level C. Yeah, that's the level C, but the volume, what does this volume tell us, guys? Yeah, the increasing volume means that there is a breakout, and eventually what happens after it's breaking out? Yes, Zach. And then it's getting back there. Yeah, I like everything you said right there. So Lenny said the fake breakout. Noel told us that there is a break of the VWAP, which is a fake breakout, not level fake breakout, but fake VWAP breakout right there, right? It is at a support area right there. We're having the volume, and I'll explain why I like this volume. And yeah, I like everything you said, guys. So look at this. You're having a descending triangle on the 1-minute chart, right? You're having a clear support on the 5-minute chart. Some might assume that this is a long setup, and they would try to take it to the long side right there, right? Then look what happened to Ramlal right here. He gets stopped out here. And this is not only Ramlal getting stopped out there. It's a lot of people who consider these previous resistance as a support and try to take it to the long side. They are getting stopped out here. The volume is getting increased. Stop losses are getting triggered. Shorts are finding an opportunity to take it to the short side. They are stepping into the short, but look what happens after the breakout. Just one small flash, and it's not going lower than that. It's starting to bottom right here and getting back into the range. When the stock is getting back into the range after the breakout, this is proving to us that the stock is not actually weak. It's actually could still be strong right there. So yeah, clear support right here, breaking down. We still don't like it for a long, right? Might be good for a short because it's breaking out the support here and breaking out the support here. Getting back into the range with a decent volume. You take it to the long side, have your stop loss. Honestly, after fake breakouts, I never use the low of the fake breakout as my stop loss. I use the previous support, which acted as support as my stop loss. And you could see that actually pulling back to the previous support, you add to your position, and I bet that was your stop loss, and that's why you took the partial there. So yeah, that was a really decent long right here, and getting the rest out. Unfortunately, it wasn't that strong. It went only to 1273 somewhere right here. yeah, 1273, and then it just dropped back down. So yeah, this was a decent long. It wasn't definitely the perfect, but if you read the price action and read the details, it's good for a quick small play like Ramlal did right there. And let's see what Ivan did. My stop on this was below the body and the previous week. Okay, so let's see. CCL, we did review this trade, right? But let's get through it one more time quickly. 1 and 2 minute hammers, right? 2 minute hammer and 1 minute hammer. All out to 3 hours. Been experimenting with this. It went up to 6 hours and that's why you regret it. Question, are there any characteristics you look for to tell you what stock may be more likely to be a big mover? Yeah, and I will actually tell you this right now. Like 5 hour or higher. It would have been nice to have held some shares higher, but too often I find that we'll get one partial and then gets about to break even. So yeah, look at this. First of all, as we said, stock clearly dropping down. On the 5 minute chart, 3rd consecutive candles. At the low of the day, white hammer, which we like. Then it's making a new high. Okay? Then what's the closest resistance you have right here? What's the closest pivot point you could have right here? That's it. The closest pivot point. Along with that, or before that, the strong support areas could be, or the strong levels, which could be strong support areas or strong resistance areas, are VWAP, and then the 9 moving average in the 5 minute chart, which is our main target on these type of reversals. So your entry was good. My stop loss here wouldn't have been the low of the week. I'm never using the low of the week as my stop loss. It's half of the week if I don't have any other stop losses. And if you look at this or at the 1 minute chart, guys, you don't have a wick here to have your stop loss at. You don't have a wick here to have your stop loss at. So basically it's either half of the week or the low of the week. And Ivan used the low of the week, which is fine. It's fine. It broke up clearly. There are no pivot points in your way. So in this case, I would have taken a partial here at 3 hours, and this was 3 hours. I would have locked in 1 hour just in case, because I have this level right here. Yes, it's not a clear pivot point, but it's the only range we have right there, which could be disturbing for us. And I would lock in 1 hour here and see what it's going to do right there. If it's going to hold this pivot point right here and then make a new 1 minute low, I might exit the rest out or take a big partial and leave only 10% or 15%, but most probably, knowing myself, I'll exit all of my position at 3 hours. If it's not doing that and it's breaking this pivot point, the next thing you have on your way is VWAP. So just hold on to VWAP. That's what I would have done in this case. Just watch the pivot points and the levels you have right there. The moving average above acts as resistance. I don't really care much about the 9 moving average and the 20 moving average in the 1 minute chart. On these reversals, when they start working, the only moving average which could be annoying is the 9 moving average in the 5 minute chart. Sometimes the 9 moving average on the 2 minute chart. But looking at how it broke out and how it shot back up, the 9 moving average in the 2 minute chart would not be a concern to me. If the breakout and the move after the breakout was with multiple candles, let's say 5-6 candles, and then it's getting into the 9 moving average on the 2 minute chart, in this case I will be concerned of the 9 moving average in the 2 minute chart, because it could just bounce and start dropping down. It wasn't so strong going up, it was barely making the move up, but when it just shoots up, even the 9 will not be concerned there. Not literally a new 1 minute low. I would wait for a new 1 minute low if it's bouncing off a pivot point. If it's not bouncing off a pivot point and it's breaking it and makes a new 1 minute low, I wouldn't really care about the 1 minute low. Does that make sense? Okay, perfect. So Sam, let's see what you traded there. Sam traded NIO. Let's see the 1 minute chart and the 5 minute chart. And this is something we actually reviewed, right? Let's see there. It's decent, not literally parabolic, but I like one thing, like your target here is below the pivot point or above the pivot point. If I take my entry there and my target is below or inside the range, I'd be cautious about it. Why is that? Look at this. We're having a bullish engulfing sandwich here, a bearish engulfing sandwich, because it engulfed the bearish candle from both ways. After the breakout, it mostly shoots up. And by the way, Andrew traded this really well. If you looked at how Andrew traded this stock, it was going up, right? He saw the previous day close on the way. And what did he do around the previous day close when he saw some reversal candles on the 1 minute chart? Unfortunately, we can't see it there. He took this thing to the short side. He traded it to the short side. Then he noticed that the stock is actually holding a support right here. Didn't even make a new 5 minute low. Started rolling up. He took it to the long side and he traded it and exited all out right there. Then he did one more thing. He re-entered to the long side here. And look at this. Maybe he didn't explain why he did that. Maybe he didn't tell what he exactly liked right there. Because Andrew has been trading for many years. I don't know, 10 years, 8 years, 7 years. But he's been trading for a really long time right there. And he's just seeing the same thing happening over and over. Whether he knows why they happened, whether he doesn't know why they happened. And I think most probably he does, right? But maybe if he just didn't say this. He did this because this is an obvious pattern. It's a clear bearish engulfing sandwich in the same range with the next candle making a new high. He's taking it at the breakout with the really tight stop loss and partialing all the way to the previous day close, right? Now it's breaking up after the previous day close, starting to give you those reversal candles below the previous day close, sort of a double top right there. And this is actually one of my favorite patterns to take it to the short side. Once I see a shooting star happening after a hammer, this is one of my favorite. I love it because this hammer right here couldn't push the price above the high of the day. And if it's pushing up and then squeezing back down, this is even better because now we're also having a fake breakout right there. You take it to the long side on a new low, stop loss somewhere right there or maybe there. I would have used the highs and then partialing all the way down. So yeah, this was really good right there. Bobby, let's see what you traded. Bobby, did we trade the same thing? Let's see that. Yeah, we actually traded the same setup. No, you actually traded it after. Yeah, it's 10:35. I'll show you what I did on JD after that. So look at these guys. This is so perfect. It's going up, right? This is the pivot point right here. And this is small doji at the high of the day. Now, look at this. What do we have here? We don't have an igniting volume for the breakout, which is decent, right? It's going up, giving you the reversal candle at the high of the day. It's not so extended from the 9 and the 5, but the move here, it's parabolic, right? It's not making a move like this. You could see that just if you draw the line, it's going parabolic. I'd be a little bit cautious about taking it if the bodies were bigger and the risk was bigger. But looking at the 1 minute chart, the stop loss was really tight. The candle was pretty obvious. This is the first new 1 minute low in like 5 minutes. You take it to the short side and even halfway to the pivot point will give you more than 3 hours. And I'll get back to this one because I was watching it, but I have no idea why I didn't take it actually. Anyway, look what happens right here. This is what you should have paid attention to. And this is what I would most probably have paid attention to. Previous resistance acting as support and a new 1 minute high. If you still had a lot of your position left, I would bail most of my position and I'll leave a small portion of my position just in case it's making a double top with the second top lower than the first one and then a continuation to the downside. But if it was a small position and you just wanted to see what it's going to do and you held it to break even, then that's totally fine. Now, I wouldn't have taken this one to the short side, and anyone, could you tell me why? Let me zoom it in actually on the 1 minute chart and you guys will tell me. Actually, that's maximum. I could zoom it in. So yeah, hopefully it's clear. There is a rule for me on those reversals why I would not take this thing to the short side on this place here. Let me get back to the main chat. Actually, no, I am staying in the off topic. Exactly. The hammers. Right? So I don't take parabolic reversals against bigger lower wicks. The bigger lower wicks are showing me that the stock is getting pushed back up every time it's getting lower. Now this is a reversal candle. I know it's not literally a reversal candle here. It would have been a reversal candle here at the high of the day, hanging man. But still, anyway, I don't take it against a bigger lower wick because I see a pressure to the upside. So yeah, I would have avoided this short right here. You had your stop loss at the high. I have no idea why you exited here. Then you are taking it to the long side, right? For the break of the high of the day. It's never, no, that wasn't that long, right? So what was that? So this was a short and you get subbed out. So you took half off here because you didn't like the risk to reward, and then you just exited the rest at the high of the day, at the breakout. And that's the third short, and that's a decent short because if you pay attention to this here, it did break the high of the day by a couple of pennies. It was a fake breakout, getting engulfed back down. You're having a double top. I'm not sure if this is Peter's Mountain Pass setup. He taking it to the short side, and that was a nice move right there. So yeah, this is a perfect short. This is a decent one. Not something I would really take, but reading at the price action, it is decent one. This is something I would have definitely avoided right there. Let's see the 5-minute chart quickly. Yeah, look at this actually. Even if you look at the 5-minute chart, this is looking so good. You're having sort of a second leg up, which fails, breaking the high of the day. A clear double top on the 5-minute chart, and then you're also having a new 5-minute low. So along with it making a fake breakout and a new low on the 1-minute chart, it's having a new 5-minute low with clear distance to the pivot point right there, which could be your target. Let me see if I missed some question there. So Master Chief, the pivot point is the level which was at intraday levels. I would draw this as pivot point right here, this as pivot point right here, and maybe this is a decent pivot point right here. Okay, so those points right here are levels where stocks could actually bounce from, right? So you see it's breaking up, and if I take it to the short side, my target first will be closer to this pivot point right here. If it breaks this pivot point, my next target will be this level right here. If it breaks it, I would hold it for the next level, which is somewhere down here. I mean, what about the short on JD after the double top on the 1-minute chart? If you mean this here, I know this is a double top with the second top lower than the first one. I still wouldn't like it because of these dojis right there. If you mean this double top right here, it was decent. It's not the perfect one I would like, but combining it with the 5-minute chart, actually it was good. So yeah, if you mean this double top right here, yes, it was a good one. Now let's see the next thing we have right there. It's some guy traded UL, and let's see what you did right there. I'm not really sure what was that. Was that a long and a stop out, or it was a short and a stop out? Looking at the price, I assume those both they were longs and stops, right? Yeah, so now guys, tell me, would you have taken this to the long side? Yes, no, and why? Let me first take a look at it. It's decent. It's not bad, to be honest. But let's see your opinions, because I have an opinion on this thing. I think it's decent. I have a yes and no for this thing, but I still like it. And if you would have taken it to the long side, what would have been your stop loss? And if you would take it to the long side, why would you? I have reasons why it would have been a good long right there. Let's try to combine all the charts together, the 5-minute chart and the 1-minute chart. In my opinion, it was a decent long. Just looking at it right now. So some guy took it because of the ABCD pattern on the 1-minute chart. So where is the ABCD pattern? You mean this right here as an ABCD pattern? Like ABCD. Yeah, so if you would take it for an ABCD pattern right there, this would be a decent entry, like for the breakout, exactly a new 1-minute high. Why I like it is at the 5-minute chart. You have a clear level right here. It's breaking that level. You're taking it to the long side. What I don't like is the really tight stop loss. You put your stop loss within the 1-minute candle. And if you remember, guys, we always say that even if this candle closes this bullish, the next candle, even if the pattern is bullish, it could go all the way closer to the low of the candle and then shoot back up. You definitely don't want to get stopped out and then see the stock just shooting up without you, right? So the tightest stop you could ever think of is at least the low of the body. Tighter than that, it's, I don't know, it's just a little bit risky in my opinion. So if you take it to the long side there and then you get stopped out once, that's fine. It will be at least one loss and you will be out with only 1 R loser right there. Losing 2 R's right there with the really tight stop loss wouldn't have been the best, right? Let's see the 5-minute chart. I want to see if there is a reason why not to take it, because looking at the 1 and the 5-minute chart, I think it was decent, but let's see the 15-minute chart as well, right? And that's why I actually have multiple time frames when I'm trading, because they just give me an overall idea of how good the setup I want to trade is. So look, and there is a reason why I wouldn't have taken it. Like zooming out right here. Now what we saw is this level right here. Right? It broke it, so it's decent, but it's not the high of the pre-market. Just let's draw all the levels we have in the pre-market, which could act as support and resistance, right? We're having this level right here, right? At 37. This one is not really strong right there. I think this would have been decent level. Yeah, this was decent level. Right. There it is. So you're taking it for the break of this level right here. And you're having another level right in your face. So this is why I would have just simply avoided it. I love taking 1 minute opening range breakouts or 5 minute opening range breakouts if I don't have a lot of resistance ahead of me. So maybe I wouldn't have taken this for a 1 minute open range breakout because of this resistance. I would have let it continue trending maybe, and maybe I would have traded it for a 5 minute open range breakout because it coincides with the break of the pre-market high right there. So yeah, this would have been definitely a good reason for me not to chase right there unless I could get a really good entry somewhere exactly at the break of the new 1 minute high. Now looking at what it's doing and it's dropping back down, this would have been a decent 5 minute open range breakout, right guys? Look at this. It's breaking or making a new 5 minute low right there. It's breaking the pre-market low at the same time with that, right? And you have no levels below you. Like on all the charts which we have right here, there is no levels. Even the daily chart, there is no levels all the way to 35. It's just so clear 5 minute open range breakdown. Yes, this is a huge move right there. You could put your stop loss the high of the pullback, so it's pulling back and dropping down. Remember, on momentum trades, on 1 minute open range breakouts, 5 minute open range breakouts, you could have your stop loss either at VWAP or at the half of the candle. And half of the candle, especially that it happened after the pullback, was decent. This was green. Going from green back to red would have been your entry. Your stop loss would have been right there, and then just scalp it all the way down. And pay attention to this, how the previous resistance or support is acting as a resistance before the reverse ABCD pattern right there. You're welcome. And let's see what Kyle did there. Kyle traded BBBY. Now looking at this, it's decent. Would have waited a little bit just to confirm if it's going down more. We're having this pre-market level right here. You went in for the breakout, still decent, good one. Breaking down, taking the partials all the way down, exiting the rest out here. No idea really why you did that, right? Look at this, it's just making a pullback after this huge move, which was around $4. It's just simply making a pullback. There was definitely no reason to exit. On the 1 minute chart, on the daily chart, it gapped down, right? On the 5 minute, so you added and that got you subbed out. Okay, I see that. It was the ad which got you subbed out. Let's take a look at your ad. So you added before it made a new 1 minute low, right? Yeah, exactly. This was the issue. Remember, guys, what's the end of the pullback? The end of the pullback, at least the moment it's making a new low, if you are taking it to the short side, and the moment it's making a new high, if you are taking it to the long side. It's the least thing you could look for. Definitely that's not enough. You would want maybe volume confirmation, you would want candles confirmation, maybe you would want to see a W shape, an M shape, some level on the way. But anyway, the least thing you could look for is the low of the pullback. You can't assume that this was the end of the pullback. So Kyle added here on the way up. and it got him stopped out. If you waited for it to make a new low here, you would have added and you would have had an obvious level to have your stop loss at, right? So basically, you wouldn't have been stopped out right there. Your average would have been still good, and you would have caught the move right there. I like that you re-entered when you saw that there was still opportunity. You took it all the way down there, and now that's not really great right there. Why is that? First of all, when you are trading pullbacks in the 1 minute chart earlier on the day, that's decent, or that's fine. Why is that? Because you're trading those pullbacks within the 5 minute charts. Okay, and you have a clear downtrend and lower lows and lower highs on the 5 minute chart. Later on the day, trading the 1 minute pullbacks or the lows is not really smart, especially if you want to go to the short side. Why is that? Because you're trying to force it to the downside on the way up. If you do the opposite and you try to play those pullbacks to the long side, which are in the 1 minute chart, it's decent because you are going with the direction of the 5 minute candles. Does that make sense? You can't force it to go to the downside on a new 1 minute low when it's clearly going up on higher highs and higher lows on the 5 minute chart. So what's the end of the pullback here? The end of the pullback is at least the moment it's making a new 5 minute low. Not enough, because it could make a higher low and then continue going higher, but that's the least thing you could look for. On the 1 minute chart, when the stock is making lower lows and lower highs on the 5 minute chart, you could trade those pullbacks in the 1 minute chart. On the 5 minute chart, when it's making highs, you can't force it to the downside. Better play it with the trend to the upside. Once it's making a new 5 minute low, then you could just try it to the downside. And then you could just, after 11, it's the midday. And the midday is where you start analyzing the price action and try to think of the overall direction of the trend. This is where you are becoming patient, and this is why I wouldn't have taken it to the short side here. And I'll explain this quickly. It will be useful. So this is the high of the day for that moment, right guys? This is the low of the day. What do you have? You have clear downtrend for now. It's pulling back. This is the high for now. What do you see right there, guys? You see that the stock is making lower high waves, which is showing you that the stock is still weak, right? That's not enough to take it to the short side. It's not telling you that the stock is weak yet, right? You want to see, is it going to form a higher low or a lower low? If it's dropping down all the way down there and making a lower low, okay, now you are having a downtrend from the upside and you are having a downtrend from the downside. If it's pulling back and then making a new low, you'll have a new lower high again, right? And then you could take it to the short side, assuming that it will make a new low. That's how you will analyze it. But look, what is it doing right now? For the moment, because this is the place where I usually don't take it in the afternoon, because I'm not sure what's going to happen. Is it going to make a new low, or it's simply going to make a higher low, like it did right here? It did higher low, right? So look at this. What do we have right here? We're having a stock which is making lower highs, and we're having a stock which is making higher lows. So it's weak from the upside, but it's strong from the downside. Would we take it to the long side or to the short side? Nowhere. We're not taking it to the long side, and we're not taking it to the short side. This is afternoon, and on afternoons we're trying to just be patient and see what it's going to do. This right here would be interesting. If it's making a higher high, okay, now you will have an uptrend from the downside and you'll have an uptrend from the upside. This doesn't necessarily mean that you must take it to the long side once it's making a new high. You could do that, okay, but your stop loss will be the wave. Remember, not 5 minute candle, not 1 minute candle consolidation. You are trading the waves. This is the afternoon. Better thing to do is to wait for it to make a pullback, a higher low, and then high. You're taking it to the long side somewhere here, putting your stop loss somewhere down here, and go for the breakout. Let's see what it did right there, just quickly to analyze what it was doing. BBY or BBBY? What was that? I think it was BBY. So yeah, you see guys, just look at this. High, low, high, low, high. You see, it's finally changing the trend from the upside. It's changing it from the downside. Then what do you do, guys? Like exactly what we said right here. That's what happened. You could take it to the long here, right? But that's not really good because your stop loss will be the high of the low of the wave. Better thing to do, wait for it to pull back, make a higher low, a new high, you take it to the long side and see it exactly did what we said right here. These type of plays in the afternoon, they are really good because you're analyzing the previous data, and that's what you really like to see in the afternoon. They give you a good confirmation, but they take a long time to form. This right here, I wouldn't have traded. And so I would have been watching it for 1 hour, right? Let's again do it. Let me actually zoom it in because it will be better zoomed in. You see this? And it's finally making a double top, like it's starting to flatten out. It's making an higher lows right there, right? Then it's breaking up, pulling back, making a new low. The new high right here, you could just take it to the long side for the break. And then just go for your risk to reward. It might go higher, might go lower, you don't know, but that's how you trade it. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, perfect there. So let's see what Heather did. No, I don't really trade it on consolidation unless there is some volume confirmation, clear support, double bottom confirmation, some setup right there. But if it's just trading like waves, I would avoid it. So let's see what Heather did. Heather traded Tesla, and the Tesla trade was based on the daily chart at the 1886 and 1888 intraday levels. Aim was to see if it had fuel to hit that magical 2000 mark. The time and sales would simply not print anything below 1886.50ish, so he started to load in with a long position, and the rest is history that worked out well. So let's see what Heather did. He had a daily level at 1886 somewhere right here, right, based on the daily chart. If you look at the pre-market, the pre-market did respect that daily level and it broke up. So Heather took it to the long side at the break of VWAP once it broke the high of the wave right there. Going up, you're taking partial, and look at this. This is smart. This is where you are trading the pullbacks on the 1 minute chart when the stock is making higher highs on the 5 minute chart. So you're adding to your position somewhere right there, not partialing, and that's smart. I like that. You don't need to partial unless the breakout is going to happen. If you are trading a breakout setup and you have a plan for the breakout, then there is no reason to just partial at the high of the consolidation. It's clearly consolidating here. You see this? And it's not making lower waves. It's clearly holding a support. This is clear support right there. So it's not making low waves, right? Then taking it to the long side, it's breaking up. Little bit risky add, I would say. But normally, I bet there is an igniting volume right there. There is an igniting volume right here. This volume, which is showing us the trend, is just beginning. And catching a parabolic reversal exactly after the breakout is tough. Because after the breakout, it could just simply continue going higher. And it's good to try to catch that parabolic reversal on the second, maybe on the third leg after the reversal candles. So maybe taking the first new 1 minute high. And this is actually a setup William is trading. After an igniting volume, first new 1 minute high is an entry for that setup. So this is the way William trades this thing. But anyway, this was decent right here. I know it was a little bit risky, but your average was way down there. Even with this ad, your average will be somewhere down there. There is nothing you're risking after this ad. It's going up, and this is good. Why is this heavy partial good? Looking at this, it's going up, pulling back, going up, consolidating a bit, breaking out, pulling down, and then it's just starting to get heavy. Look at the 1 minute candle, so bullish, so bullish, so bullish. And here it's green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, and then it just starts getting heavy, which is why Heather took a big partial, another big partial right there. And this is actually smart. And look at this, guys. It's a pivot point we're having, right? It's a pivot point we're having right there. I wouldn't have added right here, I think, because this is just was so big of a drop right there. Maybe I would have added here. Yeah, this I know myself. I wouldn't have added right here. Maybe if you saw something on the level 2 or on the time and sales, this was amazing. But knowing myself, I wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't say that this was a bad ad, because you clearly knew what you were doing. You read the time and sales, you read the level 2, and what I see here is only a picture. But looking at the technicals and how it's trading, this right here wouldn't have been a bad ad. Sort of a W shape. It didn't break the points, right, or the pivot point right there, and then partially all out. This is actually an amazing trade. I love how you traded this thing. A nice holding right there. Look at these guys. You see how long he held on to this trade? Started getting into the position at 9:30, exited at the market close. This is crazy good patience. Good job, Heather. All you need is one good stock which is trading in play, pay close attention to it, and then trade it. But look at this. I bet he was sitting behind his screen for 5 or 6 hours. He didn't even stand up. He didn't miss this pullback. He didn't miss this pullback. He didn't miss this pullback. He didn't miss the partials at the key levels, like partials at the breakout. He was just sitting the whole day trading Tesla. So Nabil traded Apple. Make sure actually to submit. I'm not sure if you submitted this to the trade of the day last week, but if you did, I bet you would have won. Anyway, let's see Apple right here. Apple, this is a good entry. Why is that? Just analyzing the waves. This is an afternoon play, right? High right there, low right here, high right there, low right here. It's clearly downtrending. Then it's breaking down for a new low right there. Stop loss above the wick and then break down. What's happening right here? This was the low. This was the high. It's getting back into the range, right? And here I'm not really interested in shorting it. This is where I just wait for a higher low before I take it to the long side. Unfortunately, that happened after the market closed, so I would avoid it. What I see is that you took it to the long side on a new 5-minute high, which is decent. You see clearly lower, 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 and lower highs. This is the first higher low wave. After a hammer at the low of the day, you take it to the long side and then partialing all the way up. So yeah, both of the trades were amazing. Let's see, Paul traded SHLL. Previous day high was rejected, and that's why you took it to the short side. Let's see the 15-minute chart. So yeah, there is the previous high of the day, right? I'm not sure if that's what you mean right there. I think it is the level right there. Once it was rejected, you're taking it to the short side. I would have waited a little bit for it to form a new 15-minute low. So yeah, this was an amazing entry right there. It's also double top with the second top lower than the first one. And then you're just starting to over partial right there. Yeah, that was actually a lot of, there was a lot of partials right there. You were so patient waiting for that. Then once it's breaking down, just be patient about it one more time. Take your partials, but no need to take multiple partials on the 1-minute candle. Maybe here, it's going down, more partials, like that's how traded. You were more patient when less shares were there. But yeah, everything you did was amazing. Maybe to work a little bit on partials right there. If that works for you, then it is totally fine. JC. JC traded NIO to the long side. This was an ABCD pattern, and this is what we actually said right there. Look at this, the previous low, right? The low pivot point right here is acting as support. It's also the 9 moving average on the 5-minute chart. It's also a doji on the 1-minute chart. So you are taking it as close as possible to the support without waiting for a new 5-minute high and then riding the trend with a really tight stop loss. So yeah, this was amazing and I love it. Remember on ABCD patterns, this is ABCD pattern type 2, where the stock is not dropping down parabolically, but it's dropping down peacefully or closely to the 9 moving average in the 5-minute chart. So yeah, that was amazing. And let's say so Harji traded BA to the long side. This is a break of the high of the day setup, right? So you're having the high of the day, it's breaking up, you are taking it to the long side, putting your stop loss at a new 1 minute low, and then just be patient for your target. Simple play, but rewarding. And then we're having the last trade here for Shihab. So let's see what Shihab did. This is also a good one, guys, right? You see the high, you see the low, you see the high, you see a reverse ABCD pattern, a descending triangle on the 1 minute chart, a break of the descending triangle, taking it to the short side, having your original stop loss at the high of the wave at that time, right? Or the wicks, which was smart. You see it's dropping down, it's not hitting your target, it's pulling back. You don't get scared of the 5 minute charts because it's clearly making lower highs and lower lows, right? Instead of just panicking or just holding or just bailing here when it's clearly downtrending, you're just adding on a new low, moving your stop loss, and then partialing down. And look at this, what's happening? A new low, new high. But look at this, it's still making lower highs and lower lows, breaking down, right? Now this is where you get concerned about it. This is where it's making low, high. So from the highs it's going down, from the lows it's going down. Now from the lows it's getting higher, from the highs it's getting the same level, higher low. Now here you could just start taking extreme reversals for the move right there. And yeah, I wouldn't have held on all the way here for the last break even. I would have just bailed here on it. So yeah, that's it, guys. Do you have any questions? Right on time, actually. I'm proud of myself. Okay, perfect, guys. Those were some amazing trades. The winners and the losers, you are doing really well, guys. Don't be ashamed sharing also your losing trades. We all have them. I would have actually went through my trades, and I did have like 4 losers today and 4 winners as well. Some horrible losers, but unfortunately we're out of time. But yeah, we all have those losers. Some of them are really stupid and some of them are good but just didn't work out. It's the way we are day trading. Have a good day, everyone. Don't overtrade, respect your rules. It's 1 p.m, it's afternoon, market is slow. Don't just force it inside some chop. So yeah, take care, everyone, and talk to you in the chat room. Guys on YouTube, have a good day. You can always email me at ayman@beerbulltraders.com. Whether you are members or no, I don't care about that. I'm always happy to help everyone. Bye bye.